As we continue in our series for the change of mindset, today we want to talk about different settings that I think we need to be mindful of if our mindset change is going to be successful. There are certain things that we need to get rid of in our minds so that our mindset becomes a success and that obviously it's enjoyable. I'm sure that all of us would want to change our mindset for the better and for the good and for success purposes. And so, for the purposes of today, we are obviously going to talk about the settings that need to be removed from our mindset, or if you like, from our daily life, if we are going to be a success. So, mindset is very important, and it is important to change these settings in our mind. So the first and the most difficult, and shall I say the most fundamental one, is hate. If we are going to change our mind, then we need to stop hating anyone or anything. We should not hate nobody. We should be accommodating and loving to everyone, but not hating. Because when we hate someone, we are hurting ourselves. It only comes back to us. Hate drains a lot of energy from us. If we were a phone, hate will be that kind of thing that drains a lot of battery from us. So when we hate people, when we hate something, when we hate animals, we are draining a lot of energy from ourselves. Energy which could be used otherwise to develop ourselves and to develop something else. So we need positive energy that we can use to maintain the positive mindset that we want. When we have the positive mindset, it triggers the positive attitude and the positive perceptions. But when we have hate, it blocks a positive attitude. It gives us a negative attitude. So hate is one thing or one setting that must be removed from our mindset if we are going to be a success. So as we move on, with the settings that we need to remove, one of the things that we also need to remove is jealousy. As we set out to start our own business and to change our mindset, we should not be jealousy of anyone or anything. We must know that we are out to run our own race. And whether other people outclass us or outdo us, it is not for us to worry about. We should leave them to run their own race, and we should run our own race. When someone has done something better than us, we have to acknowledge that they have done better, and then we have to congratulate them. That's a positive mind. Again, that gives us a positive perspective as well. So jealousy it needs to be removed from our mindset. Jealousy needs to be stopped from the way we think. We need to delete it from our thinking and from our mindset and from our everyday life. Another thing that we need also to remove in order for us to have a positive mindset is worry. There are things that we can do and things that are within our power to be able to do. And whatever it is that is within our power to be able to do, then we have to get on and do what it is that is within our power to do. And there are things that are beyond our power. Excuse me. There are things that are beyond our power, which we cannot change and which we cannot do anything about. So we need to stop worrying about those things. For example, I have seen some people who are very, very passionate and hateful and worry so much about a leader of a country, and yet there is nothing that they can do to change the leadership of the country. So that is beyond you as an individual. That is beyond me as an individual. So there's no point in me being passionately hateful, passionately angry, passionately worrying about the president of a country or the prime minister of a country or any leader of any organization. There is no need for me to worry about them. Also, sometimes we find ourselves, broke and we have no money in our pocket, when we worry so much that there is no money in my pocket, so what am I going to eat, what am I going to do? Again, as we worry, we are losing a lot of energy, we are losing a lot of positive energy that we could use to create ways of making money. So when there's no money, there's no money. We should be thinking then, how do we move on? But worrying is one thing that should be deleted from our mindset in order for us to be able to move on with a positive mind. And then one more thing that also we need to think about. I mean, we've talked about hate and worry, but we also need to think about competition. When we set out our own race, although there's other people who are doing similar things to ourselves, they have their reasons for doing whatever they are doing, and they have their capacity for doing whatever they are doing. So we should not compete with anyone, because we do not know their capacity, we do not know their abilities, we do not know their background. So we know our background, and so we should set out again to run our own race without having to compete with anyone. If other people around us are doing better in the things that we are doing, if anything, we need to go near those people, find out if we can speak to those people and get help from them, rather than try to compete with them. Because when we are competing with them, like I'm saying, we do not know what their background is. For example, if we are competing with someone who is, for example, selling tomatoes, and then at the end of the day, all the tomatoes that have not been bought or sold, he throws or they throw them away. Yeah, and then we also say, well, this person has not been able to sell all these tomatoes. Now they're throwing these tomatoes, so I'm going to do the same thing as well. Now, obviously, we don't know where they get their tomatoes from. I order my tomatoes to be able to sell, but maybe this person gets them from their own farm, and so they have very little to lose by throwing those tomatoes away. I'm just using this one as an example. So competition is not healthy for your business, is not healthy for your mindset, is not healthy for yourself. Now, talking about competition, if our mindset has changed to the extent that now we are ready to be able to run a business, we are able now to be able to start a business. And so, the business that we are going to be able to start, in order for us to avoid competition or competing with anyone, what we need to do then is to start our business with the word why, with the question why. Why am I doing this business? Why am I doing this thing that I'm doing? Now, when we shift our mindset to the extent to understand why we are doing what we are doing, then we will not have any need to compete with anyone, because we have a purpose. We have a reason for doing what we are doing. That's why we have this question, why. So when we start with our why, we know that why is going to drive us to where we need to get to, regardless of how well other people around us are doing, regardless of how unwell we are doing amongst other people that are doing the same thing. So why is very, very important when we start our business. So there are 4 things that we talked about today that we need to delete from our mind settings. So 1 is hate, 2, worry, 3, jealousy, 4, competition. When we delete those things, then we will find ourselves having a lot of energy to be able to run our business or to be able to maintain a positive mindset. Do you know the change of the mindset? I know I've been basing it mostly on the business setting, but in a relationship where the attitude is negative, where the perception is suspicion, where the perception is hate, where the perception is fear, that relationship will be strenuous, will not be nice to be in. But then you need to you need to be in an environment where you feel relaxed, where you trust, where you believe in your spouse or in your other half. So I'm just again using a relationship as an example. These settings need to be deleted in all our everyday life. So in other words, our mindset has got to affect our life, beginning from where we are as an individual, spreading to our businesses. That's why anyone has got the capacity to be able to run a conglomerate. But before we can get to a stage where we can run a conglomerate, we need to start having good relationships with the people that are around us, and then that spreads then to the people that we are going to be employing, maybe as individuals, then people that we're going to be doing business with as we expand. But if we have people that we hate, that is going to block a lot of our development, a lot of our success. So for today, these are the four that I wanted us to be mindful of, even as we continue with this series of the mindset change. Mindset change is paramount. It is where we all need to begin. So when we have begun with deleting these settings, then we know we're on our way to success in anything in our lives. So for today, I leave it here.